It's the biggest heist since the Mona Lisa was stolen 114 years ago.
It's in a robbery at the famed Louvre Museum.
A heist this morning.
From the Louvre Museum in Paris, the heist took just...
It's the 19th of October, 2025, a gray morning in Paris. Tourists flow through the glass pyramid. Cameras click. We're in the Louvre, the world's most visited museum, a place built to guard history, a place that houses France's crown jewels. Somewhere above the Seine on the Louvre's south facade, a worker's basket is wheeled into place. It looks ordinary, a maintenance crew preparing for the day. But this morning, the basket carries mysterious people, not workers, but thieves. At 9 a.m., the museum opens, and at 9:30 a.m., the alarm rings. The entire break-in takes less than 10 minutes. Let's follow the guard. He's on the second floor rounds that morning. He knows the Galerie d'Apollon. Its gilded ceiling, its glass cases, the crown jewels set under plain light. He remembers a corridor of tourists, families, school groups, the normal hum. Then the basket appears at the window. He thinks maintenance. He hears the window break. He sees light flash on tools. He radios for help. The alarm sounds. But it's not the noise that stops him. It's the sight of two masked figures in high-visibility vests, wielding power tools. They move fast. They don't shout. They don't hesitate. He's trained for intruders. Not for this. Not for men cutting open royal display cases with disc cutters as visitors watch from behind. They target the Galerie d'Apollon, a 16th century hall that holds some of France's most symbolic jewels, tiaras, necklaces, and brooches once worn by empresses and queens. Pieces that are not just expensive, they are irreplaceable. They smash a case. They grab. They leave. How did they do it so quickly? The thieves arrived in obvious work vests to reduce suspicion. Two men rode the lift into position and climbed onto the balcony. Two others waited outside on scooters. The lift gave them access to an upper window on the scene-facing facade. From there, they cut through glass and reached the gallery. They used disc cutters and power tools to threaten and overcome the guards' immediate control. Then they vacated by the same route, descending into the street and darting away on scooters. What's the value of the stolen goods? The Paris prosecutor's office put a number on the damage. About 88 million euros, roughly $102 million. But even that figure misses the point. Prosecutors, curators, and historians call the loss inestimable. The jewels carry history, crowns and gems that tied France's modern identity to its monarchy and empire. Money can measure the gems' material worth. It cannot measure the centuries of provenance, ceremony, and cultural memory. Footage from the museum and nearby cameras is grainy but telling. You see the basket lift on the facade. You see masked intruders. You see a confused crowd. You see the scooters peel away. Authorities released some of this footage as they hunted the suspects. Investigators say the team was experienced too neat to be amateurs. The immediate reaction was chaos and fury. The Louvre closed for the day. Security audits were demanded. Lawmakers summoned the Louvre's director. France's president called it an attack on a heritage that we cherish. The theft triggered an emergency review of museum security nationwide. What is the guard doing after the chaos? He sits with investigators later, hands still trembling. He describes being blocked from the balcony by the cutters. He remembers people filming with phones. He remembers thinking the thieves would be caught as soon as they hit the street. They weren't. He watches replay after replay, trying to reconcile the minutes he lived with the footage the world now sees. His testimony gives us the human angle. The investigation is now a full-scale manhunt. Paris prosecutors mobilized scores of investigators. Police analyzed hours of CCTV, traffic camera records, and digital traces. Forensics inspected the basket lift, the disc cutters. International trafficking networks were put on notice. A question begins to arise. What are the thieves likely to do with the loot? There are a few grim options. Melt the gems and sell the raw stones. Break historic sets into smaller, less traceable pieces. Move them through criminal networks that trade in stolen antiquities. Each option risks destroying centuries of history. A note on recovery. One crown was recovered, damaged near the scene. It is a rare success in an otherwise worrying theft. But the larger sorrow remains. National treasures taken in a matter of minutes. The Louvre has been robbed before. The world remembers 1911 when the Mona Lisa was stolen and recovered 2 years later. But the 2025 raid is different. It happened in daylight in a gallery visited daily by hundreds. It exposed practical questions about staffing, alarm response, and the balance between public access and protection. What happens next? An administrative inquiry will examine procedures and staffing. Lawmakers will press for reforms. International police networks will comb markets and online sales. Experts will urge museums to rethink how they display their most precious items, protected behind thicker glass, more remote display, or even rotation out of public galleries. Art and artifacts are not just things, they are the stories we inherit. When they are taken, a part of a people's memory is severed. If you care for history, follow the investigation.